Competency-based human resource management argues for a business case for why competency serves as the driving force behind transformational HRM strategies in the future of work. It delves into the human learning process and adaptations necessitated by artificial intelligence underlying the need for organizations to embrace transformation, using a competency focused approach and HR as the primary enabler of change. It covers various issues, including core competence, understanding business goals, and the influence of effective business behaviors by stakeholders. This approach underscores the indispensable role of leadership in driving transformation, deploying competency based organizational strategies through strategic alignment with customers, markets, internal processes, information management, and people interventions. Let's probe further. This presentation series is based on the book Competency Based Human Resources Management Future of Work, a Himalaya publication authored by Dr. Vinay Sherman of KPMG LLP and our River Forest Connections Inc. From the perspective of a competency based HRM organization, the change leaders need to navigate through the competency based cycle of transformation, the journey towards business transformation, cultivating high performance organizations, and transitioning from a steady state to a revitalized HR organization, while fostering a collaborative assessment and a development culture. This needs to be done by addressing the translation of vision into measurable outcomes by integrating competency frameworks with future state business organizations that tackles essentially four primary human resource challenges as we speak today: talent management, performance management, change management, and knowledge management. I believe it provides insights into concurrently addressing these challenges through competency drivers and knowledge workers while developing competency frameworks. There are critical influences that are fundamentally shaping our organization, starting with our first determinant, the business model. The business model shakeup is a reality. Optimization of physical, infrastructural assets is no longer a thing. We live in a corporate world where financial and digital entrepreneurs can dismantle traditional businesses without even opening a physical office. Think about it. How streaming platforms replaced buying entire albums, or how peer-to-peer apps are bypassing traditional banks. Consumers today are empowered, want exactly what they want, when they want it, and how often, and at the lowest price. This purification of demand means that if you cannot deliver a seamless, customized experience, a disruptive startup is already waiting in the wings to take your place. And there are warning signs in your strategy. So, how do you know if your business model is vulnerable? The indicators are clear. If your customers are forced to cross-subsidize other less profitable, not so capable customers, or if they have to buy a whole package just to get that one piece they really want, you're at risk. When your products are not personalized, you have a problem. If your user experience doesn't match the global standards set by tech giants, your days are numbered. And if you no longer need to think but can delegate significant aspects of that thinking to a machine, it's time for you to wake up. And so the question is, do you have a competency-focused organization and talent resources who seamlessly deal with these disruptions and changes? This is where I believe competency-based transformation isn't just a buzzword. It's a survival mechanism to build smarter, customer-centric systems, organizations, culture, leadership models, and so on. When talent converges with organizational business models, strategic structures and alliances emerge. And this brings us to our second determinant: strategic structures. In a futuristic global market, going it alone is rarely the best option. Organizations are definitely relying on thought leaders, innovators to create outside the box products, client satisfiers, mergers, joint ventures, and outsourcing, and many more aspects. However, these partnerships don't come without significant risks. If you enter an alliance merely for short term financial gain without a mindset of continuous learning, you risk exposing your core competencies. You might inadvertently hollow out your own company, leaving it to de-skilled and entirely dependent on external partners. A factor that influences this change are behaviors that are aligned with this changing need, and those behaviors have to be embedded within the organization seamlessly. Concurrently, we need to deal with organizational design thinking and execution. And that's our third determinant, being design. Having a great strategy means nothing if your organization isn't built to execute it. The structure, management processes, and technology must collectively make sense and drive performance. This collective wisdom is what one may call as competency-based organization. When you form an alliance, you aren't just sharing money and products, you're sharing people and HR practices. This requires careful attention to job design, recruiting, skill matching, behavioral competencies, and handling the inevitable collision of different corporate cultures. If the structural design is flawed, the people working inside cannot fix the resulting inconsistencies. Competency based culture and people is our next emphasis. The operating system is challenged all the time. That leads seamlessly into the fourth determinant, culture and people. Think of your workforce as a software that runs on the hardware of your organizational design. Even the most brilliant performance management system will fail if your culture doesn't support it. Today's workforce is incredibly diverse, and they are shaped by entrepreneurialism, risk taking, innovation, internationalization, and migration. Managing this multicultural talent pool, work from home priorities, and geographies is a primary challenge for modern HR. We must create environments that not only attract diverse talent, but actively enrich and empower them to perform at their best. The evolution of leadership that is short sleeved, hands on, and aggressive is the way to go. This fifth determinant is HR leadership, and the traditional model is dying. We are shifting away from a parent to child management style vis a vis an adult to adult relationship. Thanks to technology, automation, and self assessment tools, staff have more insight into their own productivity than ever before. They just need a manager to help them make those changes. They don't need a manager watching their every move. Instead, power is shifting horizontally. Peer to peer feedback, lateral coaching are becoming far more effective than top down directives, meaning leaders can no longer hide behind fancy job titles. They simply need to do their job with their people. Performance is the result of how all these variables, strategy, design, culture, and leadership, interact, not to forget knowledge. And these interactions are not straightforward, they are cyclical and systemic. To truly understand and drive outcomes, we have to leverage talent analytics. Moving past traditional outdated hiring rubrics like GPAs or university names, although that does play the critical differentiator, if you don't have other things to show, we must use real data to identify the actual behaviors and traits that lead to high performance and long-term retention. And we have no choice but to tackle the systemic problem. And this is when we finally reach the seventh determinant, competency-based human resource frameworks, systems and subsystems. The systemic problem. When organizations face poor performance, Leaders instinctively look outside for something to blame. But in an interdependent system, the root cause is always almost internal. Problems sustain themselves through invisible causal loops. To fix this, leaders must gain a comprehensive understanding of the true business realities, from their technological infrastructure to the regulatory environment, and actively work to break destructive habits while creating winning loops. Having said all that, so what is my recipe? A phased partnering approach to change. You cannot fix a complex systemic issue with a quick piecemeal solution. It requires an interactive partnering approach. Leaders, facilitators, and change managers must work closely together, pooling their complementary skills to diagnose the system from top and right through to the last level. Competency based human resource management presents a transformative method for talent management. By prioritizing the identification, development, and utilization of employee competencies, organizations can cultivate a workforce prepared for the future, bolster organizational flexibility, and attain enduring success. As work dynamics continue to evolve, competency based HRM will remain pivotal for organizational performance and strategic asset in the years ahead. Competency driven HRM strategies are crucial for steering organizational transformation by aligning talent management practices with strategic goals, improving performance and adaptability, and nurturing employee engagement and satisfaction. Not to forget the continuous journey of learning. Leading companies are fostering a culture of knowledge sharing, recognizing that innovative ideas often originate within the organization. Identifying top performing employees in different business units is critical, but the true objective lies in leveraging their potential across the organization. Navigating these influences isn't about reaching a final perfect state. The learning organization is a continuous process, not a destination. It's something that every member of the company must work on every single day. Net, what do we have? Competency driven transformational HRM organization explores strategies for building an agile and future proof workforce and emphasizes the importance of linking core business competencies with those of individuals to enable organizations to advance their human resources objectives through a competency based HRM process. It's integrative. By facing these seven determinants head on, learning from the dilemmas we encounter, and transforming our knowledge into action, we don't just survive disruption, we use it to build a stronger, more agile future using the competency based human resource management as the potential opportunity for future of work. Thank you.